But I think there's a willingness, and certainly I was presented with the project yesterday in a session, and I'm deeply impressed by it. And I mean, we obviously will seek ways in which we as a department can collaborate, but there's also other avenues of government. There's CETAs, there's CETA money that we can help to try and redirect to real practical on-the-job training. I mean, operating a tractor is not something you can learn from a textbook. You can have the best textbook in the world, but unless you've actually been in the driving seat there, operating it and learning that practical skill, you're going to struggle. And so, as I said, I think the collaboration is what's required, and certainly from agriculture, there's an open hand. I think that this is really going to be something that can really assist farm labourers, particularly as well, to have something that they've got that they can then say, well, I've achieved this and I've got this qualification. And also it allows them to be upwardly mobile as well. If you now have got skills, you can find other work on maybe a different farm now as a welder rather than just somebody who's just a field labourer. And so I think it gives people an opportunity to better themselves and to progress. But there's no substitute for on-the-job training. And I can say that as South Africa's most famous matriculant. On-the-job training is you can't beat it. Practical, hands-on experience, learning from the ground up is, I believe, one of the most solid ways. And I'm not knocking people who go off and study, theocracy and theology and all of these other things. That there's a place for that. But we also have a dire need now in South Africa to feed the skills. The irony is that even if our economy started to grow at 3, 4, 5%, do we have the skills to put into the boiler room of that growth to sustain it? I'm always reminded of the World Cup when we had to build these stadiums. Suddenly we had to import all these workers from Bangladesh and China and other countries to come and do basic bricklaying and artisan work. And it speaks to the fact that there is a huge gap in the market. And I think that it's up to government and the sector, agri-sector itself, to do what we can to fill that gap, because it's in our interests as well. We, highly skilled, highly trained farm workers and technicians mean that you less downtime, as I think has been said, far more precision and greater yield, and that can only be good for the agri sector.
Yeah,